Next, we are going to see some validation methods. So validation is nothing but we are going to verify something. So first we are going to check whether the element is present or not, or the element is enabled or not. Then only we are going to perform the operation. So yesterday we saw some boxes. Here also we have the box called, see, this box is disabled state. So as a human, we know that if this is in this format, we know that this box is disabled. But machine will not know that this box is enabled or not. So if I try to say, identify this element, names equal to L name, and if I ask to type, give the method called send keys, what will happen? Driver dot find element by dot L name. Right? So L name dot send keys of some text. But I know that it is not going to print, but still, if it is a normal programming, we need to know whether it will work or what it happens if I give in this format. So if I try to run this program, what will happen is it will type Selenium, but when it comes to this line, it will not execute. It should throw some error. Okay, so it types Selenium. After that, it doesn't do anything. It didn't select female. It didn't click the button. Why? Because it throws the error and it stops. Okay, so nothing happened. The element is not interactable. We are not able to type the value inside the element. So before doing that, instead of showing Java errors or Selenium errors, we have a method called is enabled of. This method is used to check whether the element is in enabled status or disabled status. Okay, first we are going to check that value, then we are going to perform the operation. Whether we can type it or click it or whatever it is, we are going to first check whether the element is enabled or not. For that, what we are going to do is, we are going to use the same thing, driver dot find element by dot this name dot is enabled of method. It is going to check whether the element is enabled or not. And this result should be stored in some variable. So for that reason, I'm going to use the data type called Boolean, and I'm going to check the text box. So I'm going to give the name as L name. So now what will happen is it will check the value, and if I want to print it, some dot out dot print ln of L. So what will be the output here? If it is in enabled status, it should return true. If it is in disabled status, it should return false. Okay, types the Selenium and it should return the value. Again, it shows error. Okay, it returns this, but because of this step, it shows error. Okay, if it is false, means you should not perform this operation. So that's why it's showing error, but it returns that as a output as false. So if I change it here, F name, what will happen? It will return true because this box is in enabled status. You understood? So F name box is in enabled status, so it will return true for F name. But if it is L name, it will return false. The box is in disabled status. So if it is in disabled status, you should not use this step. You can't write this step. So next method is displayed of. So if I want to identify whether a particular element is present or not, it is there or not. For example, it could be an image, or it could be a text box, or it could be a labeled text, whatever it is, we are going to verify that that element is present or not. So if I want to check, that means I can use this is displayed of method. So now let's check some other method which is displayed of. So let's check whether this element is present. So for example, I'm going to check this element. What is this? This is a submit button. I'm going to find whether this element is present or not. So this is not submit button, right? This is radio button. Okay. Let's check whether the submit button is present or not. So we are going to just say that is displayed. So is displayed of, and we are going to use the same concept like the boolean and the submit as name. We are going to use system.out.println of submit. Okay, so again it will check whether the button is present or there, and it will show whether the result is true or false. So just it is for verification purpose. So without going on checking, without verifying the elements, we are moving. If we try to type the value, means it will generate error. For that reason, we are doing some validation check before doing the process. Okay, it types, it clicks the submit button, and it selects the female option also, and it says, see here for F name, I have given is enabled off, so that also returns true. And here the submit button is there or not, it also returns true. Okay. So another method is selected of method. So is selected of is to check if the element is selected or not. So what is meant by selected or not? So if particular element is selected, if I want to check whether the male is selected or not, means I need to write the coding for that and check it. So here this element, yeah.
Can you just show the is displayed sentence again? It's just to check whether it is present in the screen, right?
In
That
the
particular
current
element?
web page, yes, in the current web page. Whatever page we are currently viewing, in that URL.
Oh.
So the element whatever present in that particular page here.
Okay.
Okay. It could be anywhere, but it will check whether the element is present.
Okay.
This is what. So check if the element is displayed or not. Or same thing for everything. This is for displaying purpose. This is for enabled status check. And finally, this is for selected or not. Okay.
Okay.
So here I am going to do first I will check with this process. So I will check this radio button, that is female radio button is selected. So I will just check. So system.out.println. So what will be the result of this? Here I have checked whether the female radio button is selected or not. So what will be the result? True or false?
True.
True. Why? Because we are doing the action first. We have clicked the selected, then only we are performing the action. So it will automatically return the result as true. Purpose of validation. So we are just doing a validation to show it as a proof for the developer. Whether if something goes wrong, we need to inform the developer based on the report we got in the console. For that reason, we are getting or trying to print all the results in the console.